feel like more young people are conservative.
Yes.
And more people are on our side.
Yes.
And it seems that the conservative just ideas and this whole thing has become more cultural. Like we've kind of, even right before Charlie was assassinated, South Park made an episode about him.
2 weeks. Just 2 weeks before Charlie was assassinated, you got a guy at the very, very tip top of the pinnacle. Even Kanye West couldn't get over when South Park went after him. He had to rap about it on a track. I mean, look, there's something to be said for when the biggest, media platforms in the world are coming after you, and you can even enjoy. Charlie was really just starting to have fun. I'll be honest, I really felt like Charlie was just really starting to come into himself and even enjoy a little bit of the scrutiny that come with, heavy's the head that wears the crown. Charlie earned it, and it makes me angry, to be honest. A lot of guys around here, they want to walk around with their head down, and they want to be sad, and they just want to mope every time they say the name Charlie Kirk, and then no sooner than they're moping, they're pointing fingers at one another again. I want to get mad, and I want to get action, and I want vengeance. I want God's vengeance and wrath on the people responsible for this, and the people that are ultimately responsible for this. The saddest part about it, the mainstream media, they're not held accountable for all the horrible things they said about Charlie. See, I'm not running for office. I can say these things because Charlie and I weren't only friends, we were neighbors. And I believe that he was put in my life as a God ordained for a reason, and I'm speaking, I believe, purely on behalf of truth when I say that everybody here that's missing this moment and doesn't understand that we should be focusing on how we got here. How do we get to a place where anybody in any rational mind whatsoever would think that that would be a reasonable thing to do, to try to take the life of another person for speaking the truth, especially for preaching the gospel, for Charlie to be martyred, okay? I think that's what we should be focused on, not pointing fingers at people that's supposed to be on our team. It's so wrong, Alana. It's totally wrong.
If a prominent left-wing figure were to be assassinated, like when Democrats were in control, we know how the Democrats would react. They would institute a major crackdown. They would completely overboard.
I think if Biden was obviously still in charge of the White House, or that auto pen that he was in charge, I should say, his admin, he never was in charge of anything. He was sleeping in the basement eating ice cream that whole term. I think that he would have had a crackdown door to door going for anybody that owned a gun. He'd say, yep, these guns, they all gotta go, every single one of them. Instead, you see President Trump still, he understands that the only way to beat a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And that's just it. It isn't the gun, it's bad people with guns. And I think it's just that our definition of who's bad and who's good, we need to start to discern good from evil a little more clearly. We need to get the people on the right side of what team it is, who we're playing on, okay? If you want to be on the wrong side of history, you continue to rock with that Democrat Party today. Sign your own death warrant as a politician. Your days are numbered, you're done, you're toast. You're not gonna win. We got good guys like Anthony Constantino, Joe Mitchell, 28 years old, coming out of Iowa. We got dudes with new ideas, guys that represent the Gen Z, the young voter, like you talked about, coming in and saying, you know what, we love what President Trump done, we're rocking with Trump, but we even want to go a little further with this thing, because we recognize that the people that support trans ideologies are insane. They're radically insane. And to think that you would even consider voting these people into office, you'd say, yeah, continue to have more people that believe in more trans rights. Keep giving the furries more power. Alana, where are we living in right now? It's like an episode of The Twilight Zone.
Segueing real quick to pop culture. Yeah. So you're in some circles with maybe celebrities and stuff.
We've met everybody. I was so blessed to have a friendship with Tyson Fury, recently done some events with my old buddy Mike Tyson. Speaking of Tysons, Floyd Mayweather Jr. was a huge influence on my life. We got to meet Warren Buffett through Floyd. We've had a lot of fun through the sport of boxing, opened a million doors, but I thank God for that. It's a blessing. You got to lean into your talents. That's what I tell everybody all the time. Whatever God's given you, don't be hiding it, don't be shy about it. Go out and use it for His glory.
In those circles, like in celebrity circles and stuff like that, what's your read on maybe who might be a closet conservative, or are there
Sydney
more
Sweeney. Post Malone, I'm sorry. I have something in my throat. There's a lot of guys, I won't say their names, who knows, I might have just accidentally said two of them. But I only say that based on personal experience, and I don't want to kiss and tell, but I'll just say that I think that there's more people than you would possibly imagine with huge platforms that are big on President Trump. And some of them are represented by agencies like CAA, I'll just call them right out by name, Creative Artists Agency. And I've had conversations with some really great artists with huge platforms that young people will be so inspired to know that they love President Trump. But when those agents start hearing, their ears start moving, they say, wait a second, what did Hughie Vuitton just say? He just said the T word. You're not allowed to say that word back here. Trump, no. Cut the mic. They start looking for cameras. They start making sure nobody's recording, because the last thing they would want to know is that some of these people's favorite artists at home are actually rocking with the conservative movement. And a lot of them are big Charlie Kirk fans. I'll give you a free one. I was just at a fight, the Canelo Alvarez fight recently in Las Vegas against Terrence Crawford. And I was approached by somebody, and I almost recognized their voice before I saw their face. I had a hat on that said, "Never forget Charlie Kirk." The person leaned down to me and he said, "Did you know that guy on that hat?" I said, "Yeah, he was a friend." And he said, "My name's Taylor Sheridan." I said, "Sir, I know you, the writer of Yellowstone." Yeah, he said, I just want to say something. That was the most horrific thing I ever saw in all my life, what they did to your friend. I'm sorry for that loss. And we're praying for Erica. Look, you like Yellowstone, you like Landman with Billy Bob Thornton, you like all these programs and stuff. Well, I hate to tell you, if you're a live at home, yeah, the guy writing the shows is very much not all about your movement, okay? And go figure. Cowboys are cool again. Country's cool again. Nobody wants to tune in and watch a story about some liberal reject getting sexual assignment surgery, okay? People's more interested in knowing what good blue-collar working class people are really up to, and Hollywood's even following suit now. Hollywood's wanting to make programs that are Christian. They're wanting to even make programs that cater to blue collar, but they want to use us, right? They just want to get us for the clicks. They want to get us for the views, and then they want to see if they can't skew our minds in such a way that they can eventually harbor us into just starting to go somewhere down centralist in our ideologies. You know, they want to make a cowboy show, but then put like a transgender cowboy on it. I don't buy it, but it's nice to know that people with platforms outside of politics know that Charlie Kirk was a good man, and he stood for good things.
If people want to follow you and find you,
If people want to follow me and find me, I'm sleeping in the alleyway out back. I got a brown box and some empty beer bottles and a spare change can. No, if you want to follow me, you follow me at Hughie_Vuitton on Instagram. That's how you can find me. I really don't sleep in the bath. I'm not homeless. But yeah, follow me on Instagram. I'd love to connect with you guys, and send me a DM too.